Employees' response to different leaders. Why do employees give their best effort for one leader but resist another? Psychological, structural, and identity-based factors. Abstract. Employee responses to leadership vary significantly, even within the same organizational context. While some leaders inspire discretionary effort, loyalty, and cooperation, others encounter disengagement, minimal performance, and open resistance. This paper argues that such differences are driven less by positional authority and more by psychological safety, fairness, emotional regulation, identity affirmation, relational authority, and unconscious bias. Additionally, race and gender dynamics influence how leadership behaviors are perceived and interpreted. By examining both internal psychological mechanisms and broader social conditioning, this analysis demonstrates that employee effort is largely a function of the relational and perceptual environment leaders create rather than formal power alone. Paper employees often respond dramatically differently to various leaders within the same organization. One leader may inspire high engagement, cooperation, and discretionary effort, while another may face resistance, confrontation, or minimal compliance despite holding identical authority. These contrasting reactions suggest that leadership effectiveness is not determined solely by title or rank. Instead, employee behavior reflects deeper psychological, relational, and social dynamics. Effort is shaped by how leaders make individuals feel, what expectations they signal, and which internal motivations or insecurities they activate. One of the most significant factors influencing employee response is psychological safety. When individuals feel respected, heard, and safe to express ideas or admit mistakes without humiliation, they are more likely to invest effort and take initiative. Leaders who cultivate psychological safety activate trust-based engagement, encouraging creativity and accountability. Conversely, leaders who trigger fear or shame activate defensive survival responses. In such environments, employees often do the minimum required, protect themselves politically, or become passive-aggressive. The shift from engagement to resistance frequently reflects a change in perceived safety rather than a change in employee capability. Fairness and consistency also play a critical role in shaping employee behavior. Humans possess a strong sensitivity to equity and predictability. Leaders who establish clear expectations, apply standards evenly, and maintain consistent behavior foster stability and trust. This consistency allows employees to focus energy on performance rather than self-protection. In contrast, inconsistent leadership, favoritism, unpredictable micromanagement, or shifting rules erode commitment. When employees perceive unfair treatment, disengagement or rebellion often follows, not necessarily out of defiance, but as a response to perceived instability. Emotional regulation further influences team dynamics. Research in emotional contagion suggests that teams mirror the emotional state of their leaders. A calm, grounded leader regulates tension within the group, promoting focus and steady performance. An anxious, reactive, or ego-driven leader can spread stress throughout the team, increasing defensiveness and conflict. Employees rarely challenge stable authority. However, unstable or emotionally volatile authority invites confrontation. Thus, resistance may stem less from disagreement with direction and more from discomfort with emotional unpredictability. Identity and meaning also shape employee effort. Individuals perform at higher levels when they feel valued and perceive their work as meaningful. Leaders who communicate trust and affirm capability activate employees' higher professional identity, fostering ownership and intrinsic motivation. In contrast, leaders who trigger insecurity or communicate doubt often generate compliance without commitment. When individuals feel unseen, undervalued, or chronically scrutinized, resistance may emerge as a protective response to identity threat. The distinction between positional and relational authority further clarifies this dynamic. Positional authority relies on formal power and organizational hierarchy. It can compel compliance but rarely inspires discretionary effort. Relational authority, by contrast, is earned through credibility, fairness, and mutual respect. Employees may comply with a title, but they commit to a person. Sustained high performance depends more on earned influence than enforced control. Employee reactions may also reflect projection and personal triggers, rather than objective leadership differences. Leaders can unconsciously represent authority figures, status threats, or unresolved relational dynamics. One leader may activate feelings of trust and respect, while another may trigger defensiveness or past authority conflicts in the same individual. These psychological responses operate beneath conscious awareness, yet significantly influence behavior. In addition to these psychological factors, race and gender dynamics can shape leadership perception. Implicit biases often influence assumptions about who looks like a leader. In many societies, leadership prototypes are unconsciously associated with dominant demographic groups. As a result, identical behaviors may be interpreted differently depending on the leader's identity. For example, assertiveness in men is often labeled confidence, while the same behavior in women may be labeled abrasiveness. Similarly, direct communication from leaders of color may be interpreted as aggression rather than decisiveness. These perception gaps affect how quickly trust is granted and how much tolerance for mistakes is extended. Stereotype expectations further complicate leadership evaluation. Women are frequently expected to display warmth and collaboration, while men are expected to demonstrate strength and dominance. When leaders deviate from these expectations, they may face resistance rooted in discomfort, rather than performance deficiencies. Social conditioning and historical power structures also influence reactions, particularly in contexts where certain demographic groups have been underrepresented in authority roles. In such cases, resistance may stem from habituated norms rather than conscious prejudice. In-group bias additionally affects employee effort and loyalty. Individuals tend to grant greater trust and benefit of the doubt to those perceived as similar. This dynamic can subtly shape engagement patterns within teams. Underrepresented leaders may also experience heightened scrutiny and reduced tolerance for error, requiring them to outperform peers to receive equivalent recognition. Intersectionality, the interaction of race and gender, further shapes these experiences, creating distinct expectations and evaluative standards. Importantly, not all differences in response are attributable to bias. Leadership style, communication clarity, and cultural norms also influence employee reactions. The critical question in assessing resistance is whether responses are proportional to behavior or disproportionately influenced by identity-based perceptions. Ultimately, employee effort and confrontation are shaped by a complex interaction of psychological safety, fairness, emotional regulation, identity affirmation, earned authority, personal triggers, and social bias. Leaders who create environments of trust, consistency, and meaning tend to inspire commitment. Leaders who generate instability, threat, or perceived inequity often encounter resistance. Effort emerges not from formal power alone, but from the relational and psychological environment leadership creates.